You man, it's the kid, it's the kid, it's the kid, man. I wanted to actually even talk about this earlier on, which is, and the thing about this is that I'm not surprised. That's the key thing to understand, that I am not surprised by this or shocked by this, which is, China. So whenever you say these things, you don't want to say everyone is like this, but a pretty large portion, So racism towards Africans in China. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised because I've gone to school with Chinese people. I've seen how Chinese people operate. I've seen how Chinese people depict black people, how they view black people even today. Okay, they still view black people as apes and monkeys and unclean and dirty. So Chinese people are still on that whole 1800s thing now. Not all Chinese people, because some, I think one of my best friends in school was Chinese. But again, just in school, I have experienced where, like, wait a minute, I go into a room and you're suddenly speaking in Chinese and I can't hear what you're saying and you're laughing in a very suspicious way. I say, well, first of all, that's just rude, because you're like, I don't understand your language. So, but you're in England. So if you're in England, sure, you shouldn't you first of all be speaking English, but even more so than that, that's fine. Anybody can speak or whatever they want. I'm not one of those guys that like, boom, you can speak whatever you want. But if someone is coming into your room and I can use my brain, you're obviously saying some things only because I know how you're laughing, but you're doing it in Chinese, so I can't really call you out or catch you out. So the stuff is wild, man. This stuff is wild, and but so when you look at what's happening in China, with now Chinese people now blaming Africans and so forth for the virus, they're kicking them out of their homes. I'm not surprised, because there is no way in hell I'm living in China. I'm going to eat Chinese food. I'm going to my Chinese restaurants and so forth. Thank you for the kung fu martial arts. There's no way in hell I'm living in China, because unfortunately, the Chinese people just view black people in a very backward way. So I truly feel sorry for any African people that have to live there. I even, one of my, like a removed family member, like a cousin's friend, someone, because she's like the godmother to my godson and everything. I remember when she told me that, okay, she's moving over to China and she speaks Chinese. I was like, damn, that's a move. So even for me, I was like, you're going to live in China as a black woman? I was like, okay, damn, all right. So, but there was another video that my brother sent me, and this one was about, and this is something that I've seen in myself, which is going to Nigeria and seeing Chinese people in Nigeria. So just think about this now. So on the trips I go to Nigeria, I see these Chinese workers coming in there doing business, because this is something that I learned in international marketing some years ago, that Africa is going to be the future and green energy is going to be the next big thing in the next 10, 15, 20 years. So China are going into Africa and make sure that they have a foothold there, building bridges and so forth, so that they can be at the forefront of the next big economic boom, leaving Europe and America all behind. So my thing is that, and when I'm in Nigeria, these people are treated amazingly well. They're lauded after and so forth. But in China, Africans are just treated like trash. And this even extends to just most foreign people. As if you go to Nigeria, if you're foreign, more likely than not, you will be treated better than the actual local Nigerians that are around. And my thing here is, because again, because just in this video, this guy was talking, saying that if you just sit back and allow it, these guys will just clean you out, look left, look right. They are now have and are within the most powerful positions in your own country, because Chinese people are very smart. They are very, very smart. That's one thing I say. They are super smart people. I said to myself, wait, guys, don't you see what's happening in here? They're coming in here and they're gonna take you over. They're gonna take you over and they're gonna run things in this place. And if you're not careful, you're gonna be screwed. If you're gonna be screwed. But then this goes to another different thing with Nigerians and the 1% who only want to make money for themselves. They don't care about the country. As long as they make money individually and so forth from these deals and projects, they're all good. If the country goes to crap, it's not on them. Um, but Going back to the whole thing of how China are treating Africans, like I think they said there was a McDonald's that said they were not selling black people. They were not going to allow to serve black people there. Because my thing is, China already looking really bad right now. Just on a whole public thing with this whole virus thing and how they've handled it and everything. So coupled in with this, China, I mean, that's what guys, I told you, something big is going to happen. Like, the fallout of this virus is going to be huge because something big is going to happen. Now, I hope it's not a world war or something, but something big is going to happen because the way people are now going to be perceiving China is it's going to go way left. It's going to go way left because you already have how they've handled the virus and now their racism and how they are now treating people. People are now going to just lump together like, you are the guys responsible for this virus. You suppress the information. You're racist as well. You're kicking out people from their homes illegally. So so now the perception and so the people you feel sorry for are the Chinese people who aren't racist, living in foreign countries because they're not going to build the burden. So those pieces of crap numbskulls who are doing this stuff in China, you're making things bad for your fellow man in other foreign countries, man. But the bigger issue and the bigger point is the Africans shouldn't feel the need to have to go to China to search for a future. They shouldn't have to. They should be able to build a future for themselves at home. So just the wild thing. Just think about this. So Africans are leaving Africa to go to China for a better life, and they're getting treated like trash and are made to feel unwelcome. China are going over to Africa to help improve the country's economy, but only to benefit themselves because there is no way in hell China are going to want Africa to be as economically viable to themselves. They're going there to make sure that they put themselves in a perfect position where they gain the most and Africa do not gain nearly as much as them. you know. But a lot of Africans out there, they don't care about this because they're like, as long as we're making money for myself and so forth, it's cool. Because my saying, okay, for what China are doing, is it going to help improve the poor? Will it improve the lives of those living in poverty, living in squalor, and so forth? Are China there to help improve Africa as a whole? Are they? Are they?